yeah, that's 97. That's dropped to 54. That's that's the top three. So pH value I've lost and nitrogen I've lost. This one is still good, but I'm losing sight as the tractor passes across the field. That one, the nitrogen's gone. What the heck? So this one we've boosted up a bit. Oh, you know why? This is now grazing land. pH looks 6.5, 6.25. pH on that land should be okay. This is interesting. I might need to go and spray that with liquid sprayer because the nitrogen is just gone. Gone. Yeah. Okay, we need to do some things with our land. What am I doing? I am gauging GPS, lowering the thing, and no, driving forwards would be the best plan ever. Yes. So yeah, you can use precision farming with old equipment that doesn't have your GPS and computer sensors and everything else. But you would come in and let's come down here. You look at the soil types on this field. You've got loam, which needs, is it low seed, high fertilizer, and then you've got loamy sand, which needs lots of seeds. You may switch the seed application rate as you cross the boundaries of the land type that you're in, or you could set fertilizer conditions for the green part of the field, because that's most of the field. Do all the field, and then the following month come back with a sprayer and just do this corner to top this up to ideal levels. And so keep an eye on what we're doing. I must say I'm quite pleased with this spreader. It's working out quite well for us. And then all we have to do, if we plant the field this month, I can come back and spray it either October when the crop germinates, or in spring. Which is probably when it's supposed to get done. Gonna need to spray it as well. I might need to consider adding spot and spray to our sprayer, since we do have the big trailed sprayer now. Is he going the wrong way? Excuse me a minute. Dude, you cut that bit. His next turn is going to be a left turn, I think. If I take him over here, I think the worker remembers which way it last turned. So when you put it on the field, it turns away from the edge. But after that, it will it'll alternate its left turns, right turns, left turns, right turns. So since the next thing it's supposed to do is a left turn, taking it further up the field if it was going left to right as we're looking at it, since it's now going right to left, it should turn left at the end of here. Very much liking the edge of the maps now. With the trees here, this is not quite as sort of jarring for immersion, if you like. So he should, yes. So he's now doing a left turn. When he gets down to that edge of the field, he will do a right turn. So he's back doing what he needs to do. We need to get back to doing what we need to do. The hill at this, or the gradient this end of the field is far less severe, so we won't be slowing down as we get to the edge of the field. All right. And of course, as I said, this will reduce the cost of fertilizer, not necessarily by a big amount, but should be sufficient it'll help us in the long run keep more of the money we make. Which again allows us to expand the farm a bit more. Oh, keep going. So I think we looked at the vehicle sales. We've got 2 of those things now, which is kind of amusing. They're both over 500 horsepower of power requirement, so not getting those. We have this thing, which looks like a what do you call it? A forage auger wagon. We have a combi plough, the 4-meter one, and that's it. So we had the big truck. I didn't bother buying that. I'm a little disappointed with the truck, the grain truck mods. Too few of them have a weight limit, where the pulled grain trucks do. So, for example, when we go to a grain cart, this has a 1.5 ton maximum carry plus a 1.6 litre capacity. This one is 16 tons and 12 meters. This is a really nice trailer. If you're carting a heavy load, whereas it's the Flegel. This one not so much, because it's got a 12.5 ton capacity and up to 29,000 meters cubed. Hauling sugar beets in this thing, we were limited to 20,000 barely, I think, 20,000 litres, whereas my little trailer, which is one of these, I think, I can't remember which one it is. I have that. Yeah, I have this one. We have the 20,000 litres with 14 tons haulage. I could haul 20,000 litres. I still had weight capacity on my trailer to haul stuff. The trucks, the grain trucks, do not have that weight, so the only thing that they're limited by is the volume, and I kind of would like them limited to weight in certain cases. I might take a look at some of the mod grain trailers and see how weight is defined for a mod, and then go in and modify the trucks so they have a limited capacity of weight. And I'll then look up online for the trucks that I have installed and see what sort of weight limits they have on the chassis, and then see if we can introduce that. I have added a couple of trucks to the... we've got the Iveco, the Fiat. They're exactly the same. This one and this one. So we might eventually buy one of those, rather than hauling a grain trailer behind a tractor all the time. Okay, time to get another load. So we actually did 4 rows with 10% left over, and obviously as we now get into the little banjos at the top of the field... Oh, you stopped again. So I think part of the problem I have here is the tractor's got to the end, it hasn't done its right turn. So potentially, I'd love to know why it's not seeing that as a hard stop and just turning around. I expect us to have a little bit more of a problem as we transition across the rest of the field, because the sheep pen has the maypole hedges, which the worker doesn't cope well with. And yeah, that's going to end up as a problem for us. Hi dear. Now the thing I've noted about the maypole walls, hedges, is that they are discrete placeable units. They're not... Okay, the giant style... Is that a gate? That's a gate. That's a gate. That's a fence. If I take a giant's fence, I click it once and then drag it and it makes more. Things. With the maypole wall, it's a discrete, here's one unit of wall. So you place it and then you've got to place the next one, you've got to place the next one. That can... For OCD farmers, that can be a problem because you're trying to place the wall so precisely, and you know, when you've got time and and it's not costing you money in Giant's Editor, it's easy to place the walls contiguously so that they're just there. When you're trying to place it with the construction editor, it's less than ideal. Did I just crash into... Oh, I didn't just crash into a tree. I crashed into a low hanging limb. A little less than ideal there. Okay, gauge that, drive forward. It's not what I wanted to do. I wanted to unfold that. Then lower it, and then it turns on. There we go. So much easier. So this hasn't taken us too long. Obviously, the field over there is going to take us a bit longer since it's a little bit longer than this one and a whole lot wider. but not planning to do anything in that field until spring. Also not planning, at the moment I'm planning soybeans for that field, so we won't be spreading any fertilizer except enough to maximize our environmental score based on we fertilize this field with crop sensors turned on. Now, doing this is also what I would consider the recommended way to do planting with a planter that has fertilizer in it. If you want to use the fertilizer, stick the fertilizer on a manual application rate and set it close to what the seed needs. If you're worried about how much solid fertilizer you might use on that, you can easily set it much lower. And the reason is because you're always going to come back with a sprayer and a crop sensor to top off the field to A, ideal levels of fertilizer, and B, maximize your environmental score. So it's a double win. So do this before you plant. Do solid fertilizer in your seeder or planter at a lower level than ideal. And then once the crop's in the ground, it started growing, just come back with a sprayer and top it up to best levels. And that's how we are going to be proceeding going forward. Now I think the next question I have is, has the field just across the road from the yard got anything in it yet? Because what I could do is seriously think about buying that right away and getting a crop in it, possibly canola. Alright, turn on the GPS, lower the boom, and oh, we did not get that very straight, did we? Left that up. Actually, I should have left that on. Do that there. I think at this point I'm also going to do that strip along that hedgerow. Get that all done. It looks like our mower's got stuck again. I may need to go and supervise that a bit more. But, we'll get this bit done, I think. Yeah, very misty morning today here in Michigan. Quite surprised. I haven't seen mist for quite a while. But, it should burn off fairly quickly. We have a lot of sun. That's this end of the field done. Still got more than 25% left in the tank, so I think we'll be good to finish the 2 parts of the rows that we started already. We come up here, we'll GPS that, and lower. Yeah, I did get that lowered in time. Lower that. So I think this, well, we'll discover it right now. I think this does detect where you've already put slurry on the field. So it should turn off where I drive over bits that are already slurried, or not. It'll just full application rate regardless. Okay, good to know. And ooh. It's definitely having issues at points here. And probably need to be in the cab so I can see what we're crashing into. Oops, that was not the button to press. That was the button to press. Oops. Okay, well, we get some of that done, but it does mean that the tank is pretty empty. Lift that up, fold it up. Now that's the thing, I don't really have to worry about the patches I missed here because we're going to come over and top off the field anyway. I could just leave it as is. Actually, let's beam over to the tractor that's having all the issues. Now I don't know if the problem with cutting the grass is this mower or what's going on. But that looks like, I'm going to say the tractor got to the end there, turned right, and then crashed into that again. So it should now be set on the next turn is a left turn. And we will find out after we've filled up our slurry tank. I'm not sure I can empty the slurry tank back into the cow shed, so we might need to be a little bit unrealistic and leave slurry in the truck. I'll try and empty it, see what happens. No, it won't let me empty there. So, this is a pickup point only. We do not have a slurry store on the farm. I can just dump slurry in when we're all done. So whatever's left over is left over. Okay. So, which way did the tractor go? It turned right. Its next turn will be left turn, so let's go deal with that right away. Now I have actually downloaded Courseplay. I have not added it to this gameplay yet, but I might just do that because of all the hassles we're having with all these things. So I'm going to sit here, watch the worker go. Hope he turns the right way. Then we'll get back to slurrying stuff. Okay, turn left, turn left, turn left. Nice. Okay. So he's going to make at least 3 more rows from where he is right now. And the reason I say that is because there's a big open area that he's not going to see as a problem. Okay. So there are points on this field that are still a little rough that we are missing. But as I said, we're coming back later with the sprayer, possibly springtime, and that will. Oh, see, yeah. Now that is not throwing out a ton of stuff if I stay in areas where the slurry's already been applied. So again, this is a metered application. It's part of the auto setting of fertilizer type equipment. It will not apply more where it's already done some, and it won't waste anything. Back in Farm Sim 17, if you drove over an area that had already been fertilized, you would just use up more fertilizer, but not get any benefit from the use. Since Farm Sim 19, we've had sort of a metered application rate, which basically means you don't apply. There it goes, apply now, it's stopped. I think there's a little bit of a delay, but you don't apply stuff where stuff's already there. So we're just driving over the field. It's not draining any. And it's one of the reasons I don't like seeders which have built-in cultivators, because the cultivator tears up the seed that's in the ground, or at least in Farm Sim 19 would tear up seed that was in the ground. So when you were coming through a field, and like here, if I was running a seeder, I don't need the full width of the seeder running. But if I ran up to the point here, and